What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today I'm going to react to a very different type of video from Night Talk that looks like he's being interviewed. I think it's on Valuetainment. But title of the video is called "She Doesn't Think Black on Black Crime is a Problem." Ooh. Let's see what he about to get into.
I was a big fan of Pop Smoke, all right? Shot, dead. XXX, shot, dead. Young Dolph. A few years ago, one of the biggest guys in the game when it comes to hip-hop and money was Nipsey Hussle. Okay, so this is a
huge Nipsey fan. I don't know if you guys can see. I gotta move my head. This right here. This is a very small picture where somebody actually drew the Lakers jersey, but it has like a Hustle on the back of it. I'm a huge Nipsey fan. I've been messing with him since like he first came out with that $100 mixtape. That's my guy right there.
It's a continual thing. This is a continual thing. When I was a kid in the late 90s, nobody's bigger than Tupac and Biggie. Are you East Coast or you West Coast? You West Coast? I was East Coast, Miami, all right? And then the nicest guy in hip-hop, Run DMC, their DJ, Jam Master Jay, shot and killed. So it's like, I feel like this is a question that is well warranted, and I feel like you guys are completely capable of answering this question, but this doesn't happen in other genres. Like, we live in Miami. I go to Ultra every year.
That's facts.
You know, Tiesto and Cascade aren't catching beef. Like, that ain't a thing. Like, in the reggaeton world, there's no beef in that. Pop, Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake aren't catching beef. Like, you know, even in country music, and when you talk about Second Amendment, I'm a two-way guy. Like, that is country music. I got my 12 gauge, I got my shotgun, but like Trace Atkins ain't shooting nobody.
Yeah,
that is true. Like, you may have people from other genre of music. Of course, not everybody's gonna like everybody. But no one ever kills each other in other genres of music. You ever heard somebody go making that type of music? You've never seen those guys killing each other. He has a point. And I've said this before in another video. I have a lot of videos. I have no clue which one. But I know I've said it before in one of them. You've never seen a country star shoot another country star at a dice game. Probably what video talking about Takeoff. I don't know.
So what the hell is going on here? Why does this continue to happen? But most importantly, what can be done about it?
It continues to happen in our culture because our culture is supremely toxic. All of these raps, and I know people are like, oh, but what are we supposed to? They just making music about their environment. The environment is toxic. It's horrible. It's garbage. If we're gonna be real with it. Yes, the music is cool, but you know what I've realized? Ever since coming over to Faith, I don't listen to none of that no more. I'm gonna be real with you. I can't remember the last time I listened to any hip hop song. Like, yeah, I was a huge Nipsey Hussle fan, but I haven't even listened to him since I came over. Maybe once, and just nothing resonates with me like it used to. Huge Drake fan. He just dropped a project with 21 Savage. I haven't even been interested in wanting to hear it. Every time I see people talk about it, I be like, oh yeah, I guess that thing did come out. You know what I've been on a lot lately? Some dope Christian hip-hop artists. That's really what I've been listening to a lot. And like a lot of choir, like gospel services and stuff. Yeah, hip-hop is super toxic, man. Because it puts you in that mindset where you want to like live out what these people are talking about. And that's people in those environments. They live those lives. It's garbage.
Stevie, why don't you go first?
that's a lot to unpack there.
For those that don't know, this is Night Talk right here. I guess his name's Stevie Knight.
Man, first of all, it's like monetized, man. You know, record labels take out insurance policies on artists now because, you know, you have a high chance of getting your life taken away being a part of this genre of music now.
Wow, didn't even know that. They take out insurance policies on their investments.
Of
course.
Yeah.
And then it's the dehumanization of black men, black on black crime. It's like it's glorified, it's praised, you know, it's sexy in some people's eyes. It's sexy to be dangerous, to have a target on your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, social media, men are a lot more emotional now. So you put guns in emotional people's hands, they're likely to pull the trigger that much quicker.
They don't know how to handle it. The young men I used to work with, it was insane. It was insane. So the white kids that were younger loved hip hop from the black culture, loved it. But outside of like partying to it and whatnot and getting hyped to it at work when we would put it on, they didn't actually live their lives like that, right? it's fun to like be around it, but you would never actually want to be about it. You know what I'm saying? And then the young black guys I worked with, I'll never forget one. As soon as he was old enough, he went and got a gun. And he kept it in his car. He was driving with it. At the time, the state I live in, you don't need a license to carry anymore. But at the time, you did. Mind you, he lives in the hood. And he's just driving around with a gun in his car. And we're just like, bro, you're going to get pulled over one day. And if they find this on you, you're a young black man on top of that. Who knows what your fate's going to be? Like, the lucky path is that you're getting arrested and going to jail. The unlucky path is you're getting shot by a cop who's fearing for his life because he thinks you're going to shoot him. That's the only way you're going with this. He's like, well, I know, but I don't get my license. I'm not taking the classes till the end of the month and blah, blah, blah. We're like, bro, just take it out of your car. You don't understand. I got beef with these people and they're trying to kill me. Toxic. All of that is toxic. All of it is toxic.
And there's no fighting, none of this rap beef anymore. And there was no...
Yeah, and the dude I worked with was super emotional, so that's why I added that story in there, because he was... every day he'd get into it with somebody and then be at my desk. You don't understand, this is why I did X, Y, Z. And he had a gun.
There was never no fist-on-fist fighting at all to begin with, man. But it's just a lot of emotional men, younger men, impressionable minds, and it's glorified in hip-hop music. And, you know, it's just an equation for a disaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just saw a video recently, too, where, and these are popping up even more, a guy was losing at a pickup basketball game. Got mad. You know, you talking mess back and forth. Got mad because he was losing. Walked straight up to the bench and pulled a gun out. And it's like, bro, it's basketball. Like, you gonna try to shoot at somebody because you're losing. Just get better. Just get better. It's weak and soft. I don't know what's wrong with this generation.
I think I have a problem with the whole black on black crime rhetoric. Like,
why?
I honestly feel that we just saw somebody get put in jail for life for the Parkland shooting as well, right? And what was he, white? So I feel like it's crimes happen with those who you're in proximity with. So when you say, you know, when you go into the narrative of like black on black crime, it's just for me like there's nobody ever talks about white on white crime. Nobody ever talks about Latino crime. Like, it's just black on black crime. Why is that?
I get you. It is proximity though. It's two things happening at once, right?
Yeah. Because she's trying to be
black
woke
folks
and
in poverty-stricken areas. We're engaged in the most criminal activity when we're in these settings, right? It's class-based, racial-based. We're all in these groups, in these proximities together, man. So they run hand in hand. But when we are in these settings, black people kill the most, 4 times more than anybody, white, Hispanic, Asian, any of that. It's not like black across the board in America, but when we're in these pockets.
Where are those numbers coming from?
I can pull the phone out for you and show you the
yeah, there's studies for it.
We're responsible for the most deadly crimes, most shootings, most stabbings, most murders, black people within these poverty-stricken areas. It's just, both of those run hand in hand, and it ties directly into hip-hop music because it's talked about in the music. So you're pretty much brainwashing children, impressionable minds, young black men to engage in this behavior as they grow up. You don't hear about this stuff in...
I understand, but you don't hear about it in country music or pop music because that's not the reality of the artists who are telling their story. You hear about, I cried and, you know, when my boyfriend cheated on me or whatever it is that the trauma that... you know, the stories of these artists are, but when you talk about hip hop, I feel like these are just, you know, you see Kevin Liles like doing interviews for this very thing right now. First of all, there's a mixture between storytelling of like what's actually happening and people speaking on their experiences, but then there's also, you know, I guess what you're referring to, which is like the glorification of said lifestyles, etc., which then comes with fabrication, and then there's a whole argument going on about like, you know, when people can tell the truth, can tell the difference between an artist that's telling the truth or an artist that's fabricating things, and when courts can use that in certain cases, etc. So it's like a lot to unpack, but I feel like
well, for one, people can't tell the truth. I can't tell if somebody's telling the truth or not, if it sounds good. So I don't know why she even brought that up. For example, Future came out in an interview a few years back, and he was just like, oh yeah, I've never done lean. All these drugs that he talks about, he's like, oh yeah, I've never done any of that. Yet, he promotes this like lifestyle, right? This drug culture in his music. And when that same interview, he said one of his fans came up to him and was like, oh, I do such and such because you rap about it. And this man never did it. He never did it. So to sit there and be like, oh, people could tell if you're telling the truth. No, they can't. No, they can't. It's a weird thing to toss in there.
I don't know. Like, what do you want people to talk about?
I'm not
this is
saying
their
that.
reality.
I'm not saying that they should talk about anything. He asked, what's causing it, and if you're going to try to find a point of departure, to focus on, it comes from that, the reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the reality of the neighborhood.
We can like focus on the reality and do things to fix these certain pockets of areas to fix life for these people. But at the end, they are talking about their truth, and at the end of the day, like fabrication, reality, it really doesn't matter because all of it ends up being
perpetuated.
Yeah, it all turns
let me give you some context here.
I don't know the other genres, other communities. A big problem in the black community is that when you see people succeed, they try to take you down.
But where does that come from?
I have no idea where that comes from, man. Like, we are our own worst enemy. Real shit. Like, there's none of this, bringing us up together, getting us all,
This is what
everything Stevie is talking about. I literally have a video on my channel because I was responding to a comment because somebody had left a comment on one of my Kanye videos, and they were like, do you think if y'all got together, y'all could make change? And why do you think blah, blah, blah? It would have been way too long for me to write out. So I actually did a video response to that. And it's called, So Let's Talk Real Quick. But the thumbnail says, hey, black community, let's talk. And I speak about a lot of this. Because there's a lot of stuff wrong in our community. And it's horrible. Like, a lot of things need to get fixed. And if we were to ever come together as a unit and become as one and fix these things, we would thrive so hard. So hard.
To reach these higher heights, man. But, like, Takeoff is probably one of the reasons why his life is no longer here, but on some hating outside of the gang-related type of stuff, but a lot of hating in the black community, the hip-hop community, where you see people out here winning, flossing, whatever. That's why you don't wear that shit out there, because you got haters. And the black community are the number one people to be doing that.
I'm so glad that you're the one saying this, because I think that's something we all recognize. But if it came from a white guy like me, you'd be like, "Oh, Adam's racist."
Yeah, I get it.
It's like, come on, bro. Yeah. Like, but it is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's real.
And is this something that you've experienced? Because you've done well for yourself. You're successful.
Yeah. But
do people hate on you because, like, black guys?
From afar, but like my circle is cool. But I can see it in other friends that I have, other successful people, and then that stuff you see on TV or movies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can see that.
JFK was assassinated. Like, people been hating on people since Julius Caesar.
Yeah, but Jules,
absolutely. But you gotta add context to everything, man.
What you know what I'm saying?
That's an exception. You can.
Bruh, they're talking about how black men hate on other successful black men in our community, and she's out of nowhere. JFK got assassinated. What's that got to do with anything? They took out Julius Caesar. That's different. That's completely different. We're talking about men in high up, powerful positions versus the guy in the hood that's just finally got his life on track. Those are two completely different things. What is she talking about? I think she just want to talk, man, because ain't nothing of substance coming out of her mouth.
Compare the amount of hatred that other communities hate on their people compared to how much black people do it. It's
a lot higher.
I think Jules, you have to admit that is I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah.
MLK was murdered, JFK was murdered. Like, these are famous figures, and that's a whole nother conversation. That if you're a disruptor, whether you're JFK or Bobby Kennedy or Lincoln or any of these guys, you're gonna have.
And these are like high profile.
I'm talking about just general people. There's exceptions and there's rules, and you're saying these are your words.
It's definitely the rule with success within the black community. Men specifically. I don't know about the females, but men absolutely. That's why you don't go in the hood or go home with all your stuff out, man. You're gonna find leeches and haters trying to take advantage of you. I don't know how that presents itself in other communities, but it definitely does in the
Final
black
thought
community.
real quick. So I do.
Yeah, that's why you ever notice I never understood when black guys that finally make it out of the hood, decide to go back to the hood, right? And I understand it comes from a good place. So, like, for example, Nipsey, he was like, I'm going to go back, open the store, and I'm going to employ the people from the neighborhood, and I'll put everybody on. I'm going to keep giving back to my community because I love my community. And what happened? Some hating dude shot him right in front of his store. Another rapper, he opened up that cookie shop or whatever, went and got some cookies. He got shot right in front of the cookie shop. It's a bunch of dudes that go back home, don't leave. And that's just like the messed up reality of our community. That's why I said, the older I get, I start realizing more and more how trash our community is. It's garbage. It really is garbage. I wish we all could come together collectively and change things and move as a unit and clean it up so we could do better. I don't see it happening though. We are so divided. And I said that in that video that I did. We are so divided amongst each other. We have bruised egos, jealousy. It's messed up. It's messed up. But that was a good little snippet. I'm gonna have to actually check the full interview out. And that's Stevie Knight from Night Talk. I'm gonna have the link in the description down below to this video as well as to his channel if you guys ever want to check him out. With that being said, if you want to see me react to videos just like this one, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video. And until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.